A lot has gone down in the recent chapter of Fairy Tail, and the future between Natsu with his E.N.D form versus Gray is looking more and more likely, and we can see this stuff going down in chapter 500 and to come of Fairy Tail. Now, mainly this video is going to be talking about how I think this fight is going to be going down, and also as well a little bit of evidence, the reason why we are going to be having this fight very soon. I was going to do this video a lot earlier, but now that with the recent chapters that we've had at Fairy Tail, it seems more of a perfect time to talk about this, considering like where Gray is at the moment in the series, and seeing how he's triggering alongside with Natsu. This is going to be involving spoilers from the chapter 499 chapter that recently just got leaked out on here, so if you do not want to know anything about it, then I highly suggest maybe you should like click off the little big portion of this video there. But mainly the main reason why Natsu and Gray are going to be fighting in the first place is because of the whole Envil sowing these seeds of darkness inside of Gray. Mainly this is being triggered as of recently with the whole thing about Jutia supposedly being dying or in a like a death-like state after like being forced to fight here like Gray each other all throughout the entirety of that, and now especially we saw at the end of the spoilers and all that and the chapter that he was triggered and that he's going to take down like Envil with every fiber of his being. Also as well with the next chapter after that being the chapter 500 being titled Fire and Ice. Now, who are the only two characters and all that that have anything to like specifically to do with fire and ice right now that's kind of prevalent in the story, and that's Natsu and Gray. And considering like how they were speaking about Gray, that he's like the more you use the ice devil player like it's magic, the more like you're gonna go into like warp your like mind into insanity. So this could be something where Gray is probably going to lose his mind slightly. He is going to start going crazy, and it's going to warp his vision slightly, and maybe this is what's going to prompt the fight between him and Natsu to go down after all this time. That'll be a very good thing as well to keep Natsu away from like the rest of the fighting and all that, to fight other members as he's fighting Gray. But considering that, you know, like we've seen like so far, we haven't seen any triggers of Gray going insane any time he's ever used the Ice Devil Slayer, and maybe up until now, where Envil has deathly sowed the seeds, and he's like, you're the one that's going to defeat E.N.D out of all people, and this was like, even if he is defeated in the end, his plan is still going to work, as this is what Gray's going to do, is that he's actually going to fight Natsu at the end of this. Now, it feels like now, like, we're probably the time that now Gray is on that level to kind of, like, go again, like, combat against Natsu, but whether or not we see this E.N.D transformation of his, whether we see, like, what everyone's depicted him with, like, scales and wings, he's going crazy, it seems like, you know, like, the only thing that can really, like, combat, like, with the Ice Devil Slayer is something like a Dragon Force transformation can do something like that, but if Natsu loses himself, he loses control and all that, that could be something as well. Like, we have no idea what's going to be happening, but clearly the only two that are kind of rival on that power level, like, can be doing something like that, and I feel like the only way that can actually calm down Gray at this point is to know that Judy is safe, which, like, a lot of people saying like, oh, you know, is Judy dead and all that, like, we're killing. Like, Judy is a way too much of a popular character for them to kill off. I believe there is going to be something that's going to, like, either, like, revive her or stop her from bleeding out. We've seen other kind of scenarios like this. Maybe if, like, Wendy's out there, maybe she can come and do something with the healing and all that. Something there has got to save her and all that. And I feel like if we're seeing, like, you know, Judy is there, or, like, even mentioning to Gray that, you know, Judy would never have wanted this. She would never have wanted you to go and attack your friend and all that, and see, like, you know, is this really the person that you love? Like, after all this, this is how you're going to avenge her, like, you know, after all of this. So that'd be definitely something all that to see, like, you know, what's going to be happening with that, and I'm very excited. We haven't really talked too much on the Natsu portion of it though. It's like how Natsu is going to be feeling about all of this, and the fact that Envil is the kind of guy that I would imagine he would say at the end, like, yeah, Natsu is E.N.D, and, like, what happens if everyone else finds about this? Do you think, like, regardless, I feel like people like Urza and Lucy would kind of, like, say, no matter what and all that, Natsu will always be Natsu to us and all that, and he'll still be, regardless of how he's created in the world. Like, I would be kind of interested to see, like, how some of the other characters would take this, like, sort of, like, news and all that. Like, would, like, there be sort of, like, you know, we already saw that there was kind of cracks in the team already beforehand when Natsu went off on his own, so this could be something where it's like, you know, this could be a big split and all that, but then as well, might be after, like, this could be the best time and all that, saying, look, we need to knock our heads together, we need to think about this and all that. It's like, come on, like, regardless of what, Natsu will always still be with us, and, you know, he will still always be, you know, like, a friend of ours and all that. He's like, how many times has he pulled our fucking asses out in situations? Gray, Galuna, Iron, like Urza, like Tower of Heaven, like Lucy during like the whole Phantom Lord stuff, like, you know, like Wendy during like all the stuff that we've seen with her, like, you know, all these characters, like, he's been there, and I feel like maybe some of that, and like talk about Julia and seeing her alive and all that, might calm Gray down after all of this. But Natsu, like, what if he just goes into a rampage? What if all of this, and like finding out one of his best friends like betrayed him? Maybe it's like, you know, like he would go into like a frenzied like state and all that. Like maybe that's something like that might happen. So we don't know and all that. When we don't know if like Intel might still try and do anything sly and all that to do this, because clearly we've seen that like Intel's whole goal is just to make sure that Gray defeats E.N.D, because like maybe this is the possible threat where it's like this is kind of one of the only people and all that he fears at the moment that could maybe take down Zeref and all that, since he knows that Zeref is trying to focus taking down Acnologia. I'm very curious to see what you guys think in the comment section down below. What do you think exactly between the Gray versus Natsu fight, and exactly who would win out of that, like, completely and all that. We've seen Gray pull out some crazy moves in the past and all that, but then as well, we cannot forget how much of a powerhouse Natsu is, and we haven't seen the full extent of, like, the Ice Devil Slayer, like especially. We still need to see a little bit more of that, but Natsu has got Dragon King mode, like, regardless of what, and it's like, you know, he's still got the Dragon Forces and the Lightning Dragon modes, and it's like, he has just got so much of an arsenal, and I don't know, Gray in the rage that he is with his, like, I don't think his creativity is really going to save him with the Ice Devil and all that, but the Silver technique is the only one that we can possibly see at the moment that is probably his strongest thing in his arsenal. But that's all for me, so let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Thank you very much for watching as always, and I'll see you guys, though, next time.